Joining us right now from his home. And man, this is never going to get old saying this, but it is world champion right-handed pitcher for the Texas Rangers, Josh Sborz, who, by the way, threw the very last pitch in the World Series. Josh, this is exciting. This is the first time I'm wearing all my gear, you see, because I was a fan.
Looks good on you.
Way before I was ever in the media. I'm a fan. So what's going on, man?
Just, I like what you said. We got, right-handed pitcher, champion, it just really flows well. But, just getting back into the swing of things in the off season. So just working out, family time, pretty boring overall, but I enjoy it.
You're already working out?
Yeah, I'm not one to sit around.
So what are you doing right now?
Go to Meister's place, TMI, get there at 7, and just a little lightweight, get ready to start actually lifting real weight. And then just taking care of some problems that I had this season with my arm. Just want to be healthy for next year. It was great that we won, but the show never stops in baseball, so you got to pick it up pretty quickly.
What because the season went so long, how have they talked to you about when to start throwing and kind of you're a month behind, I guess, on your normal off season.
Yeah. I think it's only going to be 2 weeks of no throw, right? And then the next week following that, it's going to be weighted ball throws only. And then after that week, we'll start throwing again. But it'll be light, slow build up. But for me personally, I just don't ever like getting hurt in spring training. So I kind of like to be overly prepared almost, strength wise. I like spring training to be a lateral movement to my body, so it's prepared instead of, going into spring training a little behind. Then I get sore, then I get hurt. So a lot of it's just protecting yourself.
When do you usually, in a normal off season, when do you usually get off a mound?
Ooh, mid-December, I guess.
Okay.
Usually 5 weeks before spring training, you start throwing once or twice a week off the mound. That way you have about 10 to 12 days off the mound because, this stuff doesn't necessarily, it's like riding a bike, but, you got to fine tune your stuff. So you need a good amount of time to be on there, just practicing.
Gotcha. So, yeah. So, we're a week removed from the parade. The parade was a week ago today, which means you guys clinched 9 days ago. What's the ride been like? What have the past 9 days been like?
Just fun. Been trying to just let it sink in. Still really hasn't. I think this is something a lot of us have dreamed of doing their entire lives, preparing for this moment. And then it came and it happened. So just trying to re-experience, enjoy the moments. For me, get to be with my family a little more, so we get to enjoy the moment together. But it's just a really cool moment. There's not a lot of words I can put into context of what it felt like and how it's been the last 9 days, but it's been something special.
Did you have you gone back and watched any of it, like the last out and your glove spike and anything like that?
Because I have watched I've watched that glove spike about 300 times.
I've watched it quite a few times. I think if we're talking about my favorite videos, was some of the fan celebrations I saw. I think that stuff was really cool. Like the joy that they had of us winning. I think when we play sports, sometimes we just care about what the team aspect is, how we celebrate it, but seeing them cheer us on, how they celebrate it was really cool. But yeah.
What happened to your beard, man? Was that just a playoff only beard?
Hey, General Sborz from the Civil War shaved it right off. Got back to the 21st century. Clean shaven. Haircut next.
That was kind of an old timey look you had there.
It's a terrible beard.
What was the rookie of the year? Is that the kid that had the broken arm and the crazy pitching coach, Daniel Stern?
Yeah.
And he had kind of
the clubby. Yeah. I got that one a lot. Don't worry. I got that and Marv from Home Alone.
There you go.
So
Oh, Marv is that guy.
Yes. Yeah.
Marv is that guy.
Not the best comps. Could be better. I was hoping like Brad Pitt, Ryan Reynolds, but just don't have the looks for that.
How when did you stop shaving? Was it like
I shaved right before the Rays series.
Okay.
And then we obviously played really well, and I was like, I can't mix it up. And then we went to the Orioles. Then it turned into me not shaving, and then I started wearing the same freaking clothes on the road every single time. Yeah, white shirt, blue jeans, white shoes. So,
hey, it's superstition, right?
Like the exact same clothes, or
so,
like just that color?
No, the exact same clothes.
Okay.
And then at home, I dressed a little more comfortably, a little lighter, and we lost against the Astros. So I went right back to it.
It's funny. This shirt that I'm wearing right here, when you guys took it, so I was there when you lost the game to Arizona in Texas. So I went home. I had this on, a pair of sweatshirt, because I didn't go there. Jeff went to Arizona. I didn't go to Arizona. And an undershirt. And y'all won that night. And I swear to you, I took them off, laid them on my spot on the couch, and didn't wash them. And every night for the next 3 nights, I put them on. Yeah. Same thing. And I was like, I don't care how bad I stink. This is working.
Well, all right. Yeah. I'm down the middle of Mr. Reporter here, but I did at Arizona park in the same parking spot all 3 days. I did something else. I think I got there at the same time, roughly the same time.
Hey, there's no reason to throw anything off. So I like repeatability. So wearing the same stuff, doing the exact. I mean, we ate every off day. We ate sushi. I'm serious. We did the exact same thing almost every day.
Well,
there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
and it worked.
Absolutely.
It did. It absolutely worked.
Because this is world champion right-hand pitcher Josh Sborz of the Texas Rangers. Because of me wearing this stinky thing in my
there you go. Pants. All right. Oh, I wore the same shoes every day too. I also wore the same shoes.
Perfect. See?
And they took a beating in the clubhouse.
Oh yeah, my tennis shoes got drenched. I was there when y'all clinched.
Why were they ruined?
They weren't ruined, but they definitely got it run in the washer.
Well, so here I am, a guy that has access, and if y'all would have clinched at home, I could have been there for the bath, just like I was when y'all clinched with the Oreos. I was there for that one and got drenched and all of that. But I called Jeff when on that night on game 5, and I called him and I said, look, as much as that would be cool, my heart can't stand it. You guys need to just bring it home. I'll see everybody at the parade.
Yeah, no, that's where we were too. I mean, we kind of had them on the heels, so we were just like, we need to finish this now. Because who'd they have for Game 6 coming? He pitched real well. Yeah,
Kelly.
So just looking at the matchups, we're like, let's finish this now because we don't want to let him get on a roll again.
Yes.
And then Game 7, it's always a toss up.
Absolutely, yeah. It's always a toss up.
You stumbled off the mound in Game 3, which I didn't see.
I did,
and then hence my question to you afterward, which was, what the fuck happened to you? And then. So you don't pitch Game 4. So did you know going into Game 5 that, especially with the off day, that it's like, I'll pitch 7, whatever you need, I'm ready to go?
Yeah. I mean, when you get to the playoffs, we're just trying to win no matter what. So that's kind of my mentality for the entire playoffs. So I'll throw as many innings. I know it's only going to be 1 month long of a lot of work. So, you can manage that. And so going into that game, I knew if it was close, I was going in because I knew we had an off day on the back end too. So, I was fresh on the front, knew I was going to have time to recover on the back end. So I knew obviously the coaches, a lot of good communication about, what the situations were going to be for me. I knew if Chappie went in before me, I was going to go long. I knew I was going to try to bridge the gap to Pico, Leclerc. And so I was just bear down, and then 8th inning comes by, And I come into the dugout and he's like, "You're going back out." And I said, "Okay, that's cool. Not what I expected." You always try to plan, how you're going to react. Cause I probably wouldn't have fist pumped in the eighth if I thought I was going back out.
Yeah.
I don't want to don't like celebrating too early. I knew I was going longer than 1 inning, but to go 2 1/3, I think scoring those 4 extra runs was a tremendous help.
Well,
Right.
And Bochy has been brilliant all year in that you were dealing. And it's like you'd have to get Pico up, like you said. I guess that's his nickname, Pico Leclerc.
Yeah.
You got to get him up, get him hot, get him warmed, and you got Sborz already warmed and ready to go. Why not go, hey, just keep rolling, bub. Keep going.
Yeah.
We got a 5-run lead now.
Well, but so you're coming off the field though, and they say you're going back. Who told you, Maddox or Bochy?
Maddox, yeah. Maddox, generally the only time Bochy will tell me anything is if my day's over or if he's taking the ball from me off the mound.
If he's out
okay, but at the time it was 1-0. It wasn't 5-0.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess you were pretty pumped up to see those extra runs.
I thought personally when he told me that, I thought Perdomo was going to be my guy. And then when the top of the lineup rolled by, it was going to be Pico, just more for matchups. Perdomo, not as good on curveballs. I throw a lot. And then Carroll's a little worse with a changeup. Don't throw one. Leclerc's is really good. So I also thought that they were going to let him finish because he closed out every game we won. So I was already mentally prepared not to finish. But, I got the first out, didn't see anybody coming. Got the second out, didn't see anybody coming. So I was like, let's just make this 1, 2, 3 so I can finish.
Well, when one of those was like a 1 pitch out, right? It was.
Carroll was 2.
Okay.
I think I threw a curveball for a ball and then heater up out of the zone and he swung at it. And then he popped it up.
Got it. That's right.
Had you already told yourself, or was that pure reactionary when you spiked the glove? Were you like, if I get this guy out, I'm spiking it, or was that just pure emotion?
Just emotion. Yeah. I didn't prepare to finish the game. So I didn't have anything in mind, but
you didn't have
when you're in that moment, when you're in that moment, you just try to just let your emotions go, I guess, because something crazy like that. So, that was the best thing I could think of in that span. And I think it came out pretty good.
It worked.
You could see I wanted to fist pump first, and then I went to the glove spike. So there were some adjustments.
Well, and the gloves going to the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah. Really cool. I couldn't use it next year because we added another member to the family, so I got to add his initial. So that glove was getting retired regardless.
Okay.
All right. Perfect.
All right. That's perfect.
It's a pretty good place to retire.
Yeah.
Your glove.
So,
absolutely.
So hopefully the kids can see it one day.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. The Hall of Fame's. Have you been?
I never have. Kat and I have been going to be planning on doing it anyway, but
you can't just go you can't just do like one tour. You have to do like 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's dense.
It's fantastic. And
for me as a nerd, that's just like my heaven. And she wants to go. We just haven't had a chance.
Well, Beltray will go this summer, so assuming I'll go back and
maybe Rangers Today needs to be there.
Well, maybe.
Yeah,
we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. We'll check that travel budget.
I'm sure it's expanded.
It has. So the going into the postseason, though, you were coming off of the injury with the hamstring. Did you know that you were Josh Sborz at that point? Were you comfortable?
I felt like my issue through my career has been command, right? So I look at this year, and I think when I was struggling, I was still commanding the ball. It was just more of a matter of my stuff was really bad compared to what it was in the beginning of the year. So I knew I just needed to make a small hand placement, right? And, I think I came in Seattle game 2, we were getting kind of whooped at that point, right? I think we were losing 8-0.
Yeah.
Came in and struck the side out, and I was like, okay, we're back to normal again. that small adjustments helped. So it was just kind of, I think it stemmed from my first shoulder injury. I think the way I was just trying to avoid some pain, and then you get in a bad habit, and then you face good teams and they crush average stuff. Right. And, I think most of my runs stemmed from Minnesota Twins and the Houston Astros. So just kind of getting my numbers back to where they were was, I knew that's all I had to do. I knew I wasn't far off. I think that was the frustrating part with that part of the season was, I'm throwing strikes, I'm throwing it where I want to, and they're just getting crushed.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess your season's a success because you won the World Series, but do you look at it individually and be like, I was hurt, I performed well when I was healthy? Is that kind of what you carry?
Yeah. I mean, when you play sports, if you say you're good, even if you don't feel good, there's gonna be no asterisks on the stats, and I do have a problem. Like, I want to freaking be out there, if I'm 10% or 100%, I think, I need to figure that out. I need to grow up, not to, you end up hurting the team more than helping the team when you go out there and when you're not 100%. But, yeah, I think winning the championship, kind of X's out everything else, good, bad, great. But, the final taste that you're going to have in your mouth is a champion, and a lot of champagne in your mouth.
It's a learning experience too for you. It's a team game. And like you said, you think I just need to help this team, even if I'm not healthy, but maybe there's a point in the season where you're like, maybe it's going to help this team if I go get better because I'm dealing with the hamstring or whatever. I'm dealing with the shoulder or whatever. But I can't imagine I have adrenaline playing board games with my family. So I can't imagine the adrenaline. I just want to be out there, even if I'm not 100%. But now that you've won it all, it's like, hey, you know what? I can sit down for a couple of weeks and get ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want the team.
I think it's just, it's taking out that competitive atmosphere. I mean, like, for me, I just like to play. I like to try to do things, compete against people. Even, Corey said it in his interview in the championship was, we play cards. Can't stand losing. I think that's one thing about our team was competitive as hell in every aspect. Even we had a small basketball hoop, people would be playing for money, just to get that rush. And I think that's the cool thing about our team was we cared about everything.
Well, my sports story though, that's always you guys had and I've said this before, but the ping pong table, they guys get the ping pong table going in there, and Josh cracked me up one day. But I mean, look, these are world-class athletes playing ping pong. There's good players. They get in there and they play. And one day I just out of the blue noticed, I said, you know what? I think Sborz is the best ping pong player there. So you were coming off from batting practice. And I said, dude, pretty damn good I said, man, you may be the best ping pong player out there. And he goes, yeah, I'm pretty good.
Hey, I learned from my dad used to put it on me when I was younger in ping pong. So, I don't let up. I suffocate people on the ping pong table.
He's good.
Ruthless.
Man. He moves it, man. He moves it. I was just sitting there impressed, going, "Holy shit, he's good."
Who's the second best?
Ooh, there's a few guys that are pretty good. I mean, Simi, really good.
Simeon's pretty good.
Dolis and Garver, Dunning. I know Corey can play. He's pretty good. He doesn't want to. Throw off his routine too much. I've seen him play in LA. I've seen him in LA, and it's pretty good as well.
All right. Well, this is the point where, not that I've asked you a bunch of hard hitting questions, but this is where John kind of lightens the mood a little bit.
Yeah. So look, as I always come at it, since I grew up a Texas Ranger fan, I always know what Texas Ranger fans want to know, and they want to learn some personal stuff about Josh Sborz. So first of all, you grew up in McLean, Virginia. McLean. It's spelled McLean.
I know what it's spelled.
Okay, all right. So McLean, Virginia. You went to McLean High School. Did you play any other sports besides baseball?
I played a little basketball. Wasn't great. My brother's 9 years older than me. Got drafted out of high school. So, I kind of knew what I was going to do from an early age, but I always did play basketball, whether it was a high level. No, it was generally small AAU and then, when I knew I was going to be a baseball player, I just started playing rec for the exercise.
There you go.
But I knew at my stature of a whopping 6'2", I was going to be limited to on the basketball court to a point guard, and I don't think I'm as nimble as Steph Curry. So I pretty much knew that baseball was going to be my calling.
All right.
And you ended up going to Virginia, and I know you're from Virginia, so you ended up going to UVA. Did you have any other schools that you were interested in or that maybe offered?
I knew I was going to stay on the East Coast. UNC, it was pretty much UNC, UVA, or Miami. But I realized I didn't need to go that far from my family. I just needed to be far enough.
Yeah.
So 2.5 hours was a perfect amount.
Just far enough that they couldn't just pop in without.
Yeah. They always had to tell me beforehand. But I think I picked UVA because the pitching coach there at the time, Carl Kuhn, was like, "Hey, I'm tough on guys. I'm a screamer. I'm a yeller." And that's kind of what my background was with my parents. Was they were always tough. Expected things to be done the right way, and so that. With that type of honesty, I knew we were going to be a good fit.
So I've been to Charlottesville once, and
beautiful place.
It's unbelievable. It is so pretty. My wife and I are like, this is the place to retire. It
is pretty.
It's sneaky. It's really a good wine too.
Yeah, no, that's why we went. Actually,
taxes though.
Well, that's a good point.
Okay.
But we did go for the
be pretty.
wine.
Houses are pretty cheap there though.
We went for the wine and the history because I'm a history buff, and so we drove around all the Civil War stuff. I'd been to Monticello previously, so I guess I've been to Charlottesville twice, but once as an adult. And, we went to the White Spot, a little diner. Yeah. That was solid, man. That was a great breakfast.
I don't remember that. I was there on business many, many years ago, but I don't remember the White Spot. Okay.
Did you get the fried donuts with ice cream in the middle?
I did not. It was breakfast, but they
that sounds like something you would get though.
It is, but they deep fried the bacon. I guess a lot of people deep fry bacon. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
it was great.
We'd roll into that place, past midnight, just trying to eat some food.
Understood. I think
what's it called? The White Place?
White Spot.
The White Spot. It's kind of like
it's like right across the street from the campus. I mean,
it's right on the strip. Like the three main bars are right there.
Okay, so it's not like Denny's, because Denny's, they always say you don't go to Denny's. That's where you end up. At the end of the night. So, but the White Spot was open late, so you could go there. I'm sure that college kids do college things, so you probably need to get some fried food. Okay, you were drafted in the second round in 2015 by the Dodgers out of UVA. Now, back then, I mean, obviously you weren't in New York. I'm assuming you might have been on your College World Series run, something like that. Where were you, and how did you find out you'd been drafted?
We were in between regionals and super regionals at Buffalo Wild Wings in Charlottesville.
Right.
I thought I was going to go a little earlier in the draft, so we waited for a good 3 hours, and I was about done with wings and beer. I think I was getting a little tired, and they drafted me, and played there for a few years. Great, really loved the Dodgers. It was a cool place to be. I ended up here.
So I mean, you were with the Dodgers, and they're the Dodgers, and we're winning a ton, and then you go to the Rangers and you lose 102 games. Were you like, shit? Or is it just part of the journey?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the journey. I mean, listen, I don't play this game to lose, so the 2 previous years were not that fun. I think it was honestly more stressful than I enjoy the moment because I get to live out my dream, right? But I mean, shoot, it gets old losing every single game, and we knew we were going to get there eventually, right? But it just took a little bit, right? It took a few more guys, different coaches, just changed the mentality completely, and I think CY did all of that and did it in 2 years, which is crazy.
Yeah. Okay, crazy. So this is one of my favorites, Josh. Is somebody that I played ball all the way through high school, never went anywhere with it. I just wasn't good enough. But you got the call that all of us wish. On June 20th, 2019, you made your major league debut. That means it was during the middle of the season. You got told you were getting called up to the big leagues. Tell me how you got called up. Who told you about it? Who'd you call first? Tell me about that experience.
Yeah. Funny part is I actually got called up like the third week of that year for 6 days and did not pitch once.
Oh, geez.
So that was nerve wracking, just not getting it out of the way. First person I called, my wife, obviously, that was, no doubt. And then my parents, obviously, but I knew I was close, right? You get the itch when you start playing well in the minor leagues that you're almost there, right? And, got the call. They all came out, didn't pitch the first 6 days, right? And then the next one was I think I got called up for one day. I think I got hurt. I don't necessarily remember the time frame very well, but, similar thing. I pitched one inning, thought I was done, living the dream, debut, clean inning, no runs, no hits. And they said, you're going back out there. And I'm like, come on, just let the boy enjoy the moment. But the second inning with the 19 Giants didn't go that great, hence why I don't like to celebrate
Early.
Because
Right.
baseball will humble you.
There you
I
go.
think
Hey, you get a pass on the
DeGrom,
World Series, though.
yeah. I think DeGrom has a good phrase with this: is there's two types of players. There's players that have been humbled and players that are going to be humbled. And so I got humbled pretty quickly.
All right, a couple more before we let you get out of here. So we always ask this about guys on food and what kind of food. What's your favorite kind of food you like to eat? If you can have anything.
I could eat steak every day.
That's my guy.
If we're ordering out, I honestly think I could eat Chipotle
That's the
for
fast food
breakfast,
joint.
lunch, and dinner. Yeah.
Everybody, all the baseball players, and you guys, people don't realize this. As much as you guys work out, you eat a lot. You do take a lot of calories in.
Yeah, the off-season budget is awful for food. It's frustrating how much money we spend on just meat alone.
Now, what's your favorite home cooked meal, and who cooks it? Does mom cook something? Your wife? Something? What's the favorite home cooked meal?
Ooh, for breakfast, it's chipped beef. So if you guys have had biscuits and gravy before,
Yeah,
yes.
sure.
You take out a lot of people put sausage in it. My dad's from PA. He'd put corned beef hash in there.
Oh, wow.
So my wife eats it because the meat is like a half pound, 99 cents a pack. And we would just, put it on some English muffins and probably 30 of them.
And just crush it.
Do you believe in eating breakfast for dinner?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
We can be
eggs.
Right.
Eggs are free game at any point for me.
Absolutely.
I could eat them all day.
Absolutely. That's what real people do. That is a real man's thing. Breakfast is good any meal. I don't care what it is. You can eat breakfast.
And my wife's the same too. We could probably once a week we'll eat breakfast for dinner.
Yeah. Fantastic.
My wife loves it too. Oh yeah, it's great. It's great. All right, you know what? We got a lot to ask, but we'll get you on again. We like to have guys on more than once. We'll get to some of those later. But I always end it with this one on your very first episode. I always got to ask, and I'll give you some of the answers so you kind of know where I'm talking about. It's always what is something that nobody knows about Josh Sborz? Let me give you some examples. First of all, your former GM, JD, when he has asked this question, he has airplane underwear, which he wore on every trip. He had one pair he wore there and one pair he wore home. He said, hey, I'm still here. It always worked. CY likes true crime. He loves to watch true crime, like First 48. We had
the First 48.
Brock Burke. I'm the one that discovered the Brock Burke one. He's a sleepwalker. Everyone knows that story.
Best story ever.
Yeah. Do you have one from him, or do you just?
No, I will not. I will not divulge any of his information. If he's willing to tell the story, he can go ahead. But
we've heard a couple.
We've heard a few of them.
He was on, and he told us a couple.
He told us a few.
They're
of them.
special. They're special.
They are.
So, what is something that nobody knows about Josh Sborz?
I mean, I can segue off both of those guys. With JD, I hate planes. I hate flying. I don't understand them. And honestly, if you see me on a plane, I am white knuckling the armrest until we are, after takeoff. First I count 0 to 60. Once I get to 60, I know we're going to be okay. But
Wow.
Hey,
bad career choice, flying everywhere.
yeah.
But I guess, hate planes. I would rather drive 15 hours than take a plane.
So the bus leagues never bothered you.
Yeah, I mean, they get a little old, but never been a big flyer. I don't know why. I've been flying my whole life, but just don't like it.
So do you guys have like an RV? Are you going to get an RV to do your vacations?
I mean, so during spring training, we would just drive. I would drive across the country. I seriously don't enjoy flying at all.
That's crazy.
And it's not a bad way to go. Kathy and I travel a lot and we like it, but some of our best vacations we've had have just been driving, going and spending time together and doing stuff like that. So, all right, man. So that's it.
How many times do you fly this year?
Oh my God, the miles you guys put on there.
Probably 100 flights.
Yeah.
So once you get to
they make fun of us. They make fun of me. They always look back and just watch me. And, at the time most of my flights for the last 3 years, I've been next to John King.
Yeah.
And he hates flying more than me. So we are never a good combo because I feel his anxiety. He feels mine. And it only makes it worse.
Wow. So, but it's only like that for takeoff and landing? I mean,
really just takeoff.
Okay.
Takeoff's fine. I mean, bad. And then I like landing because I know we're close.
Yeah.
Man.
All right. You know what, though? Look at it. It's crazy how big that thing is. It's going 30,000 feet into the air. Believe me, I could see where that could be an anxiety thing. I have a heights problem, real big, afraid of heights.
You won't catch me on buildings either.
Yeah. You know what? You're a smart human. I get up there. My kids even try to walk near something, and I'm like, hyperventilating. You guys get away. Y'all need to get away. We went hiking up in Arkansas one time with the family, and my kids wanted to go out and look over this ledge. I'm back 30 feet going, y'all getting away. I'm going to pass out just y'all walking up to the ledge.
Yeah.
You guys are crazy.
What? No,
I did the World Trade Center. I went up there 2 minutes. I was back down. I could feel that thing just swaying.
Holy crap.
just not for me. It's just, it is what it is.
Well, anything else for Josh?
No. Enjoy the rest of your off season.
Yeah, man.
It's just starting.
93 days.
Yeah, exactly.
All we got.
That's right. Hey, Josh, look, we know how busy y'all are during the season. We know the off-season's time, especially after this year, that you guys want to get some family time. But taking the time to stop down and talk to us is fantastic. We really appreciate it. Can't wait to see you at spring, maybe even around here in the off-season. We'll see. But, Bud, thanks so much for coming on with us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on.